shooting videos again.
Alright, go sit down.
Trigger warning. Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, I want you to meet little Tiana Parker. She was pulled out of school, not for fighting or smoking or even bringing a toy gun to class. It was her hair. School officials actually told the 7-year-old that she didn't look presentable. That broke her heart.
Because they didn't like my dreads. I think that they should let me have my dreads.
I think people don't understand. I think a lot of people say, or they started saying dreadlocks because they thought of it as a dreadful thing, like it was ugly.
Florida dad says a school turned away his 6-year-old son because of his hairstyle. The dad says the private Christian school denied his son because he had dreadlocks.
And they just told my son he can't come to school because he got hair. Wow, I can't plait it up. Can I braid it up?
I wouldn't argue with them people at all. I don't even think they have that many thoughts if they could think about what I'm doing with my hair for them.
People thinking like, yeah, like, what band are you in? Are you this? Like, people just having assumptions like, hey man, can I buy weed from you? It's like, nah, I'm sorry, you can't. Just the image comes with that, right? And not that it needs to or should.
Check out this video, a high school wrestler getting his dreadlocks cut in order to participate in a match.
You know, it's funny, I've been very lucky. When I got locks, most of the discrimination that I faced has been from our own. And I remember I got locks way before locks were popular.
It being our energy field, our energy source. And you got certain stories, certain mythological stories to where you got the gods grab you by your locks. The longer your locks is, the easier it is to pull you to heaven. So you know what I'm saying? You got stories like that. Word.
Welcome to America, shit get wicked. Better guard your children, boy, if they'll get missing. Walk one, what's going on? Them love with me, roll one.
All throughout the world, hairstyles have always been an important symbol of wealth, identity, family, heritage, age, tribe, religion, and social rank.
We wanted to you then, on one side you have a white ref with a documented history of using a racial slur, and on the other side, a 17-year-old African-American student who has competed in more than 20 matches this year alone with no issues, but this time he was given an ultimatum: cut the hair or take the loss.
The discussion about free expression through hairstyles, locks in particular, has always been a hard conversation to have. I'm sure many of you have heard the term lock journey before. Well, we're about to go on one. And this particular lock journey starts in Charlotte, North Carolina, with the well-known artist named Miss Bunny.
I'm Bunny Gregory. I don't know that I ever realized so much that I could draw or paint. I just did. Because it was kind of a getaway for me. Kids were always like just staring at my hair and asking me questions, and the parents would be like, shh, don't, like trying to quiet them down. It's like, no, it's okay, they can ask me questions. I would rather that. And I understand, like, a lot of people would probably be offended, or I would rather you ask me questions than assume or make comments that you don't know whether they're true or not. Like,
He can't attend his school with dreadlocks. We're being sent home. And I was just in total shock, total disbelief. As a parent, you don't want your child disappointed for being discriminated against because he has a certain hairstyle that people don't agree with.
I think people use the words in different ways. Like, I think people don't understand. I think a lot of people say, or they started saying dreadlocks because they thought of it as a dreadful thing, like it was ugly, or because I hear people all the time saying, like, this is my ugly stage.
Locks are a hairstyle that has gained popularity throughout the years. Whether you have locks or not, I'm sure you've heard about the quote-unquote ugly stage. The ugly stage is a phrase used to describe the phase in which your locks aren't fully formed yet, and as a result, they may not look their best. This is not a reason to get discouraged or give up on your lock journey at all, but with the ugly stage being a part of one's lock journey, what will make one consider getting them in the first place?
I'm Easy Ola. I'm a creator, you know what I'm saying? Mainly in the music space.
Melody.
Melody, how are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Beautiful, blessed.
My name is Mariah. I also, or better, am known as Peculiar Hippie.
How long have you had your locks and when did you start it?
It was 2012. So it is 24.
So 12 years.
Yeah.
So I started in 2012.
Wow.
So I started my lock journey just because I said, I don't know what those are, but they look like braids that I never have to take out. And that was it for me. I have grown over the that was 25 years ago, over 25 years ago.
So I'm trying out different barbers, and one barber I went to pushed one of my corners back, and I was like, man, I'm just grow my hair out before I lose my hairline, you know what I'm saying? And like around the same time I started making beats. Like I bought my first software, so like I legit started my music journey as a producer and my hair around the same time.
Because I do know that the journey of having locks is a very spiritual one. And so I didn't want to kind of go about the journey in a way that I was just kind of making a mockery out of it, but I did want to kind of go that route and grow them and stuff like that.
I'll use my daughter as an example. I started my daughter's locks before she turned 2. So locks are all she's 15 now. Locks are all she's known. A lot of times when she was younger, they were like, why would you do that to her? She didn't make that decision. You made that decision for her. And what if she hates it and all those things? And I would always challenge it with, well, okay, but that's the same as if I chose to relax it. She didn't make that choice. And that's naturally what most of us tend to do with our daughters.
That is by far the easiest, most practical hairstyle for a little girl that age. You know, my goddaughter's African American, and so absolutely, there's so much, you know, I mean, the upkeep and time and expense. No way that this guy was doing anything but being a good dad.
I have such a problem with that. You know, it's funny, I've been very lucky. When I got locks, most of the discrimination that I faced has been from our own. And now remember, I got locks way before locks were popular.
I guess it does give my image a certain lure, you know what I'm saying? People look at, oh, he rapping on stage, his hair swinging.
Yeah, you know,
people do see you a certain way. Like, that I grew up around people and had the ingredients to be that type of person, yes. But no, I'm not that type of person, and people always would project that I was.
And also like the workplace too, I feel that trying to find jobs or whatever, you know, you've got to, you know, look, I've been fortunate to find employment where it's not an issue, but I think it was hard to comb through spots to try to get, you know, gain employment.
Where did we ever get the idea that there was something wrong with our hair? Where did that come from? Let's talk about that.
From twists to cornrows, braids, and now we're talking locks. I told y'all I wanted to include the guys and situations they also encounter in the workplace as it relates to hair discrimination. And this next story is about 3 men who have all been told they were qualified for a position, a job, but their hair might cause some issues. Here's their story.
I started my journey right around the time my father passed away from cancer back in 2006.
Depending on who you ask.
What I mean about how my hair is my roots. I think it says strength and courage and like it's inspiration.
The answer you receive will often remind us that it's about more than hair.
Everything. It means my love. It means my culture, my heritage. It literally represents my crown.
Ultimately, professionalism in the workplace should be based on clean and polished hairstyles, regardless of the hairstyle. Locks can be maintained in a way that is deemed suitable for many different work environments. If you're an artist and your work environment is based on free expression, getting locks would definitely be a journey one would want to embark on.
I'm Eric Woodall. I'm from Charlotte, originally from Philly.
Oh, wow.
Sung Guy for my artist name. And yeah, I paint murals and do whatever art around Charlotte.
My name is Donovan McCray. I go by Ink Guy the Don. I'm a multiple disciplinary artist. I paint with acrylic. I use charcoals. I use oil pastels. I like using drums, like playing drums and instruments.
Yeah, he helps do the most for real, because I do the most essentially, you know what I'm saying? Like, realistically, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no facade. That's why I came up with the name. It was like, you know, came to me because it's natural, but.
I go by YH Artist Life, 1/3, 1/4, 1/5, 1/6, so YH Art Gang, Tribe.
Emmanuel King, aka Roller Guard Rue. I skate for a living. I teach people how to skate.
Man, I started when I was 18. So it's been
just the same set?
Yeah, but it's gone so like I got like 7 that are long right now, and the rest are like up here. So that's happened. There's a weak point. And I don't know what causes it, but this is the 3rd time. So there's been 2 sections this long that are gone.
See, I cut mine like twice.
How many sets?
Inches, I'd say.
Inches, not like the whole?
Oh no,
okay.
I'm not like clean. No, I did probably 10 inches off my locks. I had this hair since I was 20. I just turned 30 in like January, like a month ago.
So my first set I had for 4 years. And this set right here I've only had, it hasn't even been a year yet. I cut my locks February, I think 15th, 2023. And I instantly restarted them like April. I only skipped 1 month to kind of like let my new growth grow, and then I instantly restarted them in April.
I started my locks in, COVID year. So right when COVID here, so probably 2020, basically that's when I've had my locks about 3 years, solid 3 years. And the reason why I started growing my locks was because of COVID. People wasn't cutting hair.
Let's go to Texas now, where a judge just ruled in a case about a black student's fight to keep his hairstyle. NBC's Morgan Chesky is live in Dallas. The student, Daryl George, has been out of the classroom, I think, for the better part of a year now?
This is her son's first year at the school. The family just moved to the area, and the hair problems are not just causing them headaches, it's impacting Daryl's entire high school experience.
In the case of Daryl George, this 18-year-old high school junior who hasn't been able to sit in class with the rest of his classmates, Chris, because the district says that even though he wears his hair up in locks, if it's let down, it would violate the school's policy, and so in turn, he is now suspended.
When kids are denied the proper education due to their choice of hairstyle, locks being one of them, it becomes a twisted tale of discrimination. I know that's like a lot to be like, put that on a child, but it's like spiritual, like, just promise me, little queen, that you'll never cut your hair. You'll always believe that your hair is worth something. You'll always believe that your hair stands for something. That's what I would look her in the eyes and tell her. And give her a hug and let her know, like, your hair is beautiful.
He said something about my hair, and I was like, I'm thinking about trimming a little. He was like, no blade shall touch. And I was like, ooh. And like, that's all he said, but like, you know, it hit me on a deep level, and I was like, ah.
For me, honestly, it get into the science of it, for real. Like kind of how we was talking about before we got on the camera, as far as it being our energy field, our energy source. And you got certain stories, certain mythological stories to where you got the gods grab you by your locks. The longer your locks is, the easier it is to pull you to heaven. So you know what I'm saying? You got stories like that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, my mama never would let me have hair, so when I got grown, I had went on that, I had took that path, you feel me? I had took that journey.
Take a look at a lot of the world, because a lot of the world is taking that direction. Locks are taking over, so why not learn what the culture is and not judge it?
As people get smarter and evolve, like, prejudices fall away. So I feel like as we move forward, that will be less of a thing. People thinking like, yeah, like, what band are you in? Are you this? Like, people just having assumptions like, hey man, can I buy weed from you? It's like, nah, I'm sorry, you can't. Like, be polite. And then it's like, they keep going and it's like, come on, like.
I'd like to go back to class and do what I need to do to get my education.
One thing these kids all have in common is their heritage. These are just some examples of kids being denied the proper education due to their dreadlocks. Different schools throughout the United States have different policies on hairstyles, some being in favor of dreadlocks and some not.
By this morning, the video posted online by a local reporter had been seen more than 10 million times. That's Andrew Johnson, an 11th grader from New Jersey, reluctantly agreeing to have his hair cut.
His hair's always been like that, so for them to now bring it up is out of line.
The ref, Alan Maloney, gave the Buena High School wrestler an option: cut his locks on the spot or forfeit the match, saying the hair violated athletic regulations. The student-athlete's mother writing on Facebook afterwards, "Hardest thing I've ever seen. He is good now, but that was brutal emotionally and physically." Marco, a student, was in the gym when it all went down. He says,
many people in the crowd were definitely angry that they were cutting his hair.
He's never seen this happen before.
From the matches I've seen, I have not seen his dreads be a problem with the referee or anything like that.
According to SNJ Today, a news outlet, Johnson's coaches argued with officials about the decision to cut his hair, but with time running out, Andrew agreed to cut it. According to league rules, if a player's hair is too long, they can choose to wear a cap, as long as it's a legal hair cover that is attached to the ear guards. The wrestler opting to wear a legal hair cover must wear it to the weigh-in procedure. Why a cap wasn't an option in this case is unknown. In a statement, the school superintendent says the referee will no longer be permitted to officiate any contests that include athletes from the school. The incident raising questions over whether this humiliating act was motivated by race.
Keep locking. At the end of the day, it's an expression of you. It's an image that only you can show the world. And I feel like if those people at that school can't take you for that, you can take your talents and your greatness somewhere else. That's a loss for them.
I wouldn't argue with them people at all. I don't even think they have that many thoughts if they could think about what I'm doing with my hair for real.
The discrimination I got was, bro, you look like an artist. You look like you do something. That was, I'm grateful that nobody was like, nah, bro, you look like you a thug or y'all. Like, when people came up to me, they was like, bro, your hair makes you look like an artist. What do you do? And I was like, I'm like, that's crazy. I do, I give it my whole rollout. I was just like, man, bro, like, if people looking at my hair and seeing good things, like, what else could people be saying? Women have always been the centerpiece of beauty. Dreadlocks having an ugly stage goes completely against the code of beauty for women, but beauty comes in many different shapes and forms, freeform also being one of them. It takes a strong woman to embrace her natural hair through the form of dreadlocks.
You know, you probably don't even notice about me, but I've always had self-image issues when it came to my hair before I had locks, right? And that's also another reason why I decided to get locks, because I've just always been insecure about my hair. It just never would lay right. I could never get it done a way that I was happy with. I just could never really sit comfortable and confident with my hair. So when I started my lock journey, I learned how to have appreciation and confidence for my hair and love my hair. But even with this journey, I've had some insecurities, and this documentary has just gave me an opportunity to face those insecurities.
What's up, everybody? I'm Katrina Pink Clouds from Charlotte, North
Carolina. How y'all doing?
Ada, aka Puff.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Ada the artist.
Ada the artist. Boom.
My name is Portia the Poet, aka Lulale. Lulale is my spiritual name. It means wealth and a master of prosperity.
For the people who don't know, so you just go by Simone, or you don't go by any other artist name?
Yeah, just Simone. I feel like it hits by itself, so I just stuck to that.
Yeah, most certainly.
I have never attached femininity to hair. I think in years before, like when people, like definitely earlier 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, like that was a societal thing. Like I think men thought of women as being more feminine with more hair, so women set out to make sure men were happy.
I'm around different people that have locks and that are into so many different things. Like I said, moving to Charlotte opened me up to a whole different kind of way of being. You know, I was very sheltered as a kid growing up. And even though I grew up Pentecostal and they have a special relationship with hair, I didn't grow up in a society or a community where locks or even fros were known to be accepted.
As my hair grew, I got more comfortable with being feminine, but still having my short locks. And my favorite phase was probably when it was right here. But yeah, I would just say be confident in yourself and definitely do it if you feel like you're gonna follow through with it. That is something you do have to follow through with. You can't just, I treat my locks like they're literally a part of me. So if one of them fall out, I'll be like, damn, what did I do for them to fall out? You get really connected to your hair. So it's really important to be intentional about that decision that you make, because it's not just our hair.
Locks are symbolic. They're just symbolic of what we're going through right now as a people. Our perseverance during difficult times, a reflection of our strength and how deeply rooted we are to our culture. We live in a time right now where we don't even know who we are. But we know through our melanated skin and our strong hair and our deep roots, that's our connection to our culture, our history.
People don't understand that locks and our hair has been a huge part of our culture since the beginning of time, dating back to before death, after death, ancient years ago. Locks has been an energy that we embody as a people, in a lifestyle that we use to hold energy and manifest. And the word dreadful came from the oppressor, thinking that our hair is a symbol of filth. Our hair is a symbol of weight. And no, our hair is a symbol of life. Our hair is a symbol of growth. It's a symbol of power. And it's a portal. So my thing is, every word has a frequency. So nothing about me is dreadful. I'm locked in with my locks, and I grow with them as they grow with me, and when they're ready to be released, they shall be set free.
A Texas family is threatening legal action against their school district after their teenage son was told he could not walk at graduation because of his hair. The Barbers Hill School District told DeAndre Arnold that his long dreadlocks violate its dress code. DeAndre is being forced to either cut his hair or face an in-school suspension. The Arnold family says this is about race. Omar Villafranca is in Mont Bellevue, Texas, where this all started. Omar, good morning. Does DeAndre's hair violate a school policy? Is that really a policy that says you can't have dreadlocks?
Under this policy, yes. Now, DeAndre wears his hair up. It's not in his eyes and it's not below his collar. But the policy was reworded in December, and the superintendent told us it doesn't matter if boys wear their hair up or if they wear their hair down. What matters is the length. It cannot be a certain length. And now the family is pleading with the district for an exception.
This isn't how I wanted to remember my senior year at all.
DeAndre Arnold's final semester at Barbers Hill High School was supposed to be filled with memories that would stay with him forever.
It's always up and kind of off of, all the regulations.
But an issue over a hairstyle he's been wearing since the 7th grade is putting a damper on his senior year. His mom thinks it's a black and white issue.
There's no people of color on the school board, so I get it that they don't understand about his hair.
Most school officials try to be a little more discreet in how they approach it, but I don't think they like it. I think they hate it.
What do you think that What message do you think that sends to the kids when you
that
have
you're not good enough? It's not all right for you to be as black as you are. It's not all right. You need to dumb it down a little bit, whiten it up a little bit. That's what it's whitewashing.
You know, I haven't cut my hair in 7 years for a reason, specifically to honor my relationship with God, because being somebody that loves the Lord, I understand my relationship with my hair. So I understand that some people take their hair seriously. While some people might not care if their hair is this way or that way, some people really do have a good and strong relationship with their hair. So to go through that is so traumatic and unacceptable, honestly.
I'm learning to just embrace the natural state of my hair and love it and see like the strength in it. Like when my new growth starts coming in, with my first set, I was always twisting them and manipulating them and putting bleach and unnatural things in it, a lot of product. And a lot of that was because I felt like you're supposed to look a certain way. I want to fit into society. I don't want to look like I don't get my hair done and stuff like that. So with this set, it's like I'm so proud of the thickness of my roots, and it shows like in this set is stronger. So the more I embrace the natural state of my hair as a black woman, I feel like the stronger my hair becomes, and like it's growing faster, I'm taking care of it more intentionally. So
locks and femininity go hand in hand, for one, because locks have to be birthed, they have to be formulated, they have to be nurtured, they have to be cared for. Those are all the things that a woman does. Those are all the things that womanhood embodies. And it embodies an evolution that starts from a nothingness, which is just an empty mass, and it grows and it formulates. You start your locks and you got different stages. And a lot of that takes patience, a lot of that takes attention, and a lot of that takes a certain mindset to trust the process. And as a woman, that's what we all about. We got to trust the process when it comes to living day to day, not feeling loved enough, not feeling protected, not feeling good enough. Our locks embody and symbolize that strength that we have to carry each and every day, just being a woman.
Our hair is beautiful. Like, if it's wavy, if it's nappy, coarse, my hair is super coarse and super thick. And I think it's beautiful. I think all of our hair is beautiful. And if you don't like it, start over, do something else.
Chikazi's hair holds a number of religious meanings, including the biblical command not to cut one's hair.
I'm Rastafarian, and I shouldn't cut my hair.
Chikazi's school doesn't buy that. His head teacher threatened him with suspension if he didn't cut off his dreadlocks, and he was taught in isolation. At 12 years old, just weeks into his new school life, Chikazi had to move to another school to keep his dreadlocks.
If I'm following that fate, and if this is my fate, I have to abide by that rule. I cannot abide by anybody else's rule but the Creator's rule.
Locks are growing more popular throughout the world as the years go on, but in order for your locks to remain healthy and vibrant, they have to be maintained in a certain way. Throughout time, people have used many different techniques and remedies to enhance their lock health. What are some things that you use to keep your wigs looking as fresh and as beautiful as you can?
Nothing. I wash it, and sometimes I use olive oil.
Honestly, y'all, I'm gonna be real with you. I spray my hair in the morning with water and oil, and I put my bonnet on. I keep my bonnet on all day. I don't, unless I gotta go outside, I'm not gonna, because that's why my hair is mature. It's pretty mature for 3 years. So, I mean, and I just don't like the rowdy look, I guess. So I just like a neat kind of dread. So that's all I do. Pretty much, yeah, that's all, yeah, oil and water.
I'm gonna get in trouble for this one. I'm gonna get in trouble for this one. I don't use anything. And one of the biggest fights I have with clients, especially my old school ladies who I come in, is we want to put oils, we want to rosemary, we want to lather it, we want to. Our hair does the best when it's clean. Keep it clean. That's all I ask. And so when you come to me as a client, I make you promise you will not put any products in your hair for the first year. While you're locking, you can't oil it, you can't lather it with even rose water. Nope.
Honestly, I would say leaving my hair alone. So like I used to retwist it like maybe like every 3 weeks or so, and I was just like learning that didn't work for my hair. But I also learned that, you know, sometimes that does work for other people's hair and things like that.
I was getting my hair done like at least, I don't know, a lot at first. To compare it to now, I get it done like once a year or twice a year, depending on what's going on. I might do it twice a year. I detox my hair once a year, probably wash it like 3 times a year. And I get it greased and scalped, you know what I'm saying, like once a month. Stuff like that, to where, you know, I'm keeping it real natural, real sunlight and water.
Coconut oil on my scalp before I go to sleep, you know what I'm saying? Coconut oil, and like, you know, every month or every other month I use the what's the name of the brand? The mango, just little yellow and green little mango.
I got that upstairs.
Yeah, I use that shampoo and conditioner. But yeah, that's all I use. I don't do no extra. Get the aloe vera, and I don't do all that. I keep it simple.
I use very little in my hair. And I feel like with my texture, my grade of hair, it works the best. Like the least manipulation possible really helps thicken my locks and not over twisting. Like I was getting my hair or twisting my hair like every couple of weeks or like a little bit, like at least a little bit of new growth. I'm trying to twist it down. Leave it.
Yeah, I've done no maintenance or anything. I wash them as needed. So if I'm just not doing anything in the wintertime for 2 weeks, then they might go 2 weeks. I'm not going too much longer than that. But also in the summertime, if I'm out sweating, and like they're getting washed more often. But yeah, nothing special. I just use like a non-build-up shampoo. Rub it in real good, and let it soak for 5-10 minutes, rinse it out, air dry. Yeah.
What I learned from my locks is patience is everything, timing is everything, health is everything, mindset is everything, because these locks connected to our head. You know, stress comes from our brain first, and then it trickles down to the rest of our body. So these is on top of our head, so it's like, these is really connected to our emotions. So what my locks taught me, like I said, health is everything. My mental is everything. If my mental not right, it's gonna show in my hair too, my locks, because they connected to my head.
Whenever I have like a women figure in my pieces, I make sure she has locks. And one thing that I'm sticking to is like green locks. So like this one has green locks. She has green locks in a bun down here. She got some green locks right here, and this is one of my self-portraits. So I always make sure just to highlight that, because for one, like being a black woman in art, like for me, is really important. But then also to highlight, you know, people that, you know, aren't always like shown up front, especially shown up front as like being something beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Because whenever I'm forming my locks, like, you know, even like your family be like, what's wrong with your hair? Like, you need to retwist this. But it's like, I'm so comfortable with how my hair is that like if I take it out of this right now, it might look crazy, but like I'm so comfortable with that, you know? And I still feel like I'm beautiful at the same time. So like having my locks and being comfortable with the uncomfortability of how I might look has made me more, you know, comfortable with myself. So yeah.
The ban on dreadlocks has sparked global newspaper headlines. There's a growing petition, and today a protest by the Rastafarian community outside the school gates. But Fulham Boys School is not backing down, maintaining its position that it has a strict uniform policy that every pupil, whatever their culture, whatever their background or religion, must stick to.
Let's stop the racism at Fulham Boys School.
I don't know what's going on with society these days, but we have to address this as parents and as Rastas.
What do we want? Equality! What do we want it now?
We've consulted with lawyers who have all said that the school's position is unlawful. So we have it on good authority that the school's position is untenable. It's in conflict with the law.
In fact, Ofsted guidance warns schools that while they can impose their own uniform policies, they should be willing to adapt to accommodate religious beliefs, unless they can justify a reason not to. Fulham boys' schools say they see dreadlocks as a social issue, not a religious one. They may have to argue that in court. Chickazee's family are seeking legal action. Chris Rogers, BBC London News, Fulham.
The fight for our free-form brothers and sisters is a battle that's going to take the entire Lock community to win. But no matter the time or place, we will make them respect our heritage.